Good morning, dear students. I am Dr. Bhattacharya Srinivas, working in St. Peter Engineering College as a professor of chemistry. So today we have to discuss the unit second, water and its treatment. Before this, we have studied that hot water properties and purification technology, internal and external. So why we need the purification? Because some water, purification of water for human consumption as well as industrial purpose. But according to WHO, World Health Organization, the water should be fit for the human consumption. So what are the specification according to the health organization, World Health Organization? What are the specifications? So today our class is specification of potable water. The potable water already we purified, internal treatment and external treatment. But inside bacteria is there, viral bacteria is there, and we have to some specification. We have to discuss specification of potable water. So sometimes may ask you what are the specification of a potable water. 7 points are there. You have to write the 7 points. You will get the marks. And for killing up bacteria, chlorination or ozonization. So sometimes may ask you what is meant by chlorination, what is meant by ozonization and desilylation. So these are the 4 topics and 4 questions will come for 3 marks. The first question is what? Specification of potable water. Second question is what is chlorination? Explain. And third question is what is ozonization? Explain. And third question is write the desilylation. Desalination. Saline water means salt water, ocean water. So these are the 4 questions now we have to discuss. Okay, one by one. The first, the specification. So why we study the specification? So the water coming from the tap, I mean the municipal water, whether it is a color or colorless or taste or tasteless, how can you know? Which one is used for the human consumption? The dirty water can we drink? Or color water can we drink? No. That should be pure form, colorless, odorless. So that are the thinking. Either acidic water or basic water or turbidity is there and bacteria is there. So that the government has given some specifications. So now what are that specification? First we have to look. Then you go for the chlorination. So now that the specification of potable water. So that water supplied by the municipality, it should be for human consumption. The first one is it should be colorless, meaning it's a white color. Not in white color, colorless. And odorless. The smell will not. And sweet to taste. That water should be sweet to taste. That is the one specification. The first specification, it should be sweet to taste, odorless and colorless. And the turbidity should not exceed 10 ppm. The turbidity should not exceed the 10 ppm, parts per million, 10 parts per million. That will be suitable for the human consumption. And total dissolved salts not exceeded 500 ppm. The total dissolved salts, whatever the total dissolved, calcium chloride, magnesium carbonate, the total salts dissolved in water, that should not exceed 500 ppm. And it should not be very alkaline, mean base. Take the pH paper and check it. If more than 8, it will not useful for drinking. And below the acidic, but below the 8 or 6, that 6 means 7 is the neutral, and 6 or 5 or 4, that is the acidic water. That is also it can't drink. So it either not be alkaline, not be acidic. And it should be the dissolved gases like carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide should not be there. So that is also the carbon monoxide is a very dangerous gas, and carbon dioxide also. So that the water should not contain these gases. And some minerals like lead, arsenic, chromium and magnesium, that should be free from water. It should be free from these objectionable minerals. And it should be free from pathogenic microorganisms. Pathogenic microorganisms mean protozoans, bacteria, virus. So these should be free from all these things. And it should be free from suspended and colloidal impurities. So these 7 specifications are very important for potable water. The 7 you have to must be read and write. So whenever they will ask you write the specification of potable water, you have to write all these questions, all these points. Okay, in this, the 6th one, it should be free from pathogenic microorganisms. Free from pathogenic microorganisms means that microorganisms, how they can kill. So that is now our second question is what? Chlorination or ozonization. So these two, chlorination or ozonization, are killing the bacteria. So now we are going to study the chlorination. So what is meant by chlorination? Chlorination means addition of chlorine. Chlorination is the adding of chlorine to water so as to make it fit for human consumption, for drinking of that water. Mean you have to add directly either chlorine gas or some powder, that is a calcium oxychloride, CaOCl2. The CaOCl2 when dissolved in water release the chlorine gas, or we can directly add to the chlorine. So among all the halogens, that halogens mean what are that? Fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. Among all these halogens, the chlorine is the most efficient disinfectant and is added to public water supplies to kill disease causing pathogens such as bacteria, virus and protozoans. So that is the reason the chlorination is the most important one, and in every municipality, the municipality water, so they are adding the chlorine gas, and it's a gas. So how they are adding this one? For example, the chlorine gas added to water, what happened? To form the hypochlorous acid. This reaction is very important. You have to write that reaction definition. And when chlorine is added to the water to form the hypochlorous acid and release the H plus ion and chloride minus ion. And this hypochlorous acid then is separated H plus and ClO minus or OCl minus. That is hypochlorite ion. Hypochlorous is break down into hydride ion and hypochlorite. So mean when it is, this is a equilibrium, mean that is a chlorine and water hypochlorous. Hypochlorous plus H plus or Cl minus and then both sides, that's the equilibrium state. Whereas here hypochlorous it changes to H plus and ClO minus, and when they are combined to form the hypochlorous. So this hypochlorous is having the capacity to kill the bacteria. So this hypochlorous acid is act as a disinfectant. The chlorine is not direct disinfectant. Then when chlorine is added to the water, then form the HOCl. That is the cause for the disinfectant. So this is about the chlorination. And in chlorination, sometimes may ask you break point of chlorination. What is meant by break point of chlorination? So in water, so many organic compounds are there, reducing substances are there like ammonia, raw ammonia is there. So when the chlorine is added to the water, the chlorine reacts with the organic compounds and ammonia react with the chlorine to form the chloramines. Then slowly the chloramines break down and destroyed it. And after certain time, then that free chlorine is there. Mean that excess of chlorine is added. That chlorine, mean it is a process which involves the addition of excess chlorine. First of all, that first chlorine react with the oxidizing agents, organic compounds, and reducing substances and ammonia in water. So then after some point is there, after that point, that particular point is act as a disinfectant, mean able to kill the bacteria. So in a graph we have to look that one. So this is the graph, the break point of chlorination. The chlorine here, this is the chlorine, residual chlorine, and this chlorine is added here. The first of all, the first chlorine is reacting with some organic compounds, mean reducing compounds, mean chlorine. Here some chlorine is destroyed. Chlorine is destroyed because that one reacting the reducing compounds. And after the remaining chlorine is reacted with the ammonia. The ammonia is present in the water that react with ammonia to form the chloramines. And after that the chloramines or chloramines is totally destroyed, that is break down into ammonia gas, nitrogen gas and HCl gas and OCl, and that OCl is responsible for the killing of the bacteria. This particular point is a combined residual point. This point is called the break point of chlorination. And after this break point, some excess of chlorine is there, that is the available chlorine or free chlorine or free available residual chlorine. You can say this one, that is free available chlorine. So this is called the break point of chlorination. Chlorination and break point of chlorination. Now, ozonization. So ozone mean, you know, O3 is called the ozone. Ozone is an unstable molecule which can readily break down into oxygen and nascent oxygen. Mean when it's an unstable, the ozone, when you have to preparing the ozone is readily immediately break down into, mean release the nascent oxygen. That nascent oxygen having the capacity, mean it is the highly oxidizing. The nascent oxygen is a very powerful oxidizing agent, and it is having the capacity to kill the harmful bacteria. Harmful bacteria. Mean, how can you prepare this ozone? So ozonizer is an instrument is there, ozonizer, that when passing the oxygen in the presence of light, passing the oxygen, 3 moles of oxygen in presence of ultraviolet light, and to form the, so when oxygen passing this light, so to form the O2 converted into O3, mean 3 moles of oxygen converted into 2 moles of ozone. So this ozone, when it's an unstable, so when passing through water, that nascent oxygen is released. This is called the nascent oxygen. So this is the responsible for the killing the harmful bacteria, destroying the harmful bacteria. So this is called the ozonization. So the ozonization is a very good one. So like this is called the ozone sterilizers are there. Some examples, one no need to write, just like I am explaining this one. Here this is the ozone generation. So here this spot is the ozone generation. Ozone generation. Air oxygen feed. So here some ozone generation means O3 formation takes place. O3 means the oxygen in presence of light, the ozone. So the ozone is injected slowly from this tank. The water. Here this is the from bore water, and bore water coming to this tank. The storage of tank, contact with the corner. So this is the water and the bore water, and here some directly come to the ozone, O3. Ozone means O3. So the ozone, when the ozone is an unstable compound, when react with the water to release the nascent oxygen. So the nascent oxygen means it is here. See, that is a clean filtered water. Here the pump pressure tanks. Here from the tanks, these are the pressure tanks, and automatic filtration system. This is the filtration. And here that the ozone is kill the bacteria and filter water will come. So this is the filter water. So this is the ozone sterilizer. So but it is a very nice one, but its disadvantages mean the cost effective, more cost effective. So ordinary people cannot afford this one. So that is the reason, so the municipality officers can use only that either chlorination or calcium oxychloride. So that is the easy and cheap method. It's a very cheap method for chlorination, killing the bacteria. So ozonization also very good one, but it's a costly. Okay. Now the final one, desalination of salination means saline water. Desalination means saline water means remove the salts from the ocean water. The salts water, we have to remove the salts. So how to remove it? So we can say that reverse osmosis technology. Reverse osmosis. We know that everybody knows osmosis. Osmosis and exactly the reverse osmosis. That refers to any process remove some amount of salts from the minerals. The ocean salts means saline water containing the especially sodium chloride. Sodium chloride salt is more in the saline water. So you remove that sodium chloride from that. So we are using this technology. So how to remove this one? So this is the reverse osmosis. One nowadays we are using in our system. So everybody using. So in our colleges also that reverse osmosis, RO water. We can say the RO water. So RO water means reverse osmosis. So how it is functioning? How it is work? Here the osmosis, you know that the osmosis, the lower concentration to higher concentration. The water flow from lower concentration to higher concentration through semi-permeable membrane. So the membrane is allowed the only water, pure water. So that is the osmosis. Exactly, reverse osmosis means at high pressure, the salt water we have to use the pressure from the upper pressure and that pressure, that high concentration to low concentration. So this is a salt water. So here this is a salt water. So high concentration is there. The high salt water is moved through the semi-permeable layer. So this layer, so the fresh water. So this is the pure water. Only the salts will deposited at this side and only pure water is transferred or coming from that semi-permeable membrane. So this is the we are using nowadays RO method. So what are the advantage of this one? So you know that the taste is very good because the salts are removed, means it's a sweet to taste, and odor and appearance also good, and highly effective purification method this one. And it's a little bit no energy taking, little amount of energy, and very convenient wherever we can put in our house or colleges or industries, wherever we want to put. It's a convenient one, and flushes away pollutant, does not collect them, and easy to keep clean and low production cost. So these are the advantages of the reverse osmosis. So now 4 questions. That one is a reverse osmosis, RO method or desalination. So what is meant by reverse osmosis, or what is desalination? And what is ozonization, and what is chlorination, and what is meant by breakpoint of chlorination, and what are the specification of potable water. So these are the questions we'll ask you. Among these, definitely 1-2 mark question will come. Okay, thank you very much.